Taron, I want to start by asking you this character is coming from a real dark place and trying to find some redemption, and I want to know uh, how you felt kind of embodying that and kind of carrying all that he's gone through with you, and what it was like trying to connect to a kid with all that kind of held inside.
Well, I think that's hopefully what is interesting to watch on screen. He's somebody that has a lot of self-loathing, I think, a lot of regret, and feels he's just made a string of terrible mistakes. And I don't think, I think a lot of people feel that way by the time they're 35, 36. And I think there's something about, whilst I'm a very different person to Nate and have lived a very different life, I relate to having, I don't know, like those demons, I suppose. And this part felt like a really interesting way of expressing that a little bit. And then the need to connect with this person who is, who is half you, that you really have no relationship with. It just struck me as a very unique challenge, and I loved both of those characters from the moment I read it. I just loved them both. He's a bad guy, but he's a bad guy who's really trying to do the right thing. I think
he's
find redemption.
For that reason, he's easy to connect with.
Yeah, and I think we get away with how much of a bad guy he is because he's really putting her first, I hope.
Yeah, and Anna, I want to ask you. Obviously, Taron is a very nice guy, and he's very charismatic and nice to be around. But you had to capture a certain amount of fear to be around him and concern, and you did a great job of that. And I'm curious how you did it, how you felt going through that process of like, he's this one person, and then you kind of have to get into the scene and respond to him differently and kind of keep your distance,
Yeah, that's a good question because it was a little hard doing that because he is really nice.
That was perfect. Next time you can say it with a bit more feeling.
Okay. Well, that's I have to do a lot of preparation, obviously. I have to pretend like this is a full different person. And I just have to pretend like this is my dad I haven't seen in forever. And I just have to try to put myself into the character and just try to feel what she's feeling. And I just try to forget the nice part of him.
The tattoo self? The costume.
It's tough though, right?
Yeah, it was tough. But yeah, it kind of just really naturally comes to me. And I just have to pretend like it's not Taron.
That I talked to Jordan, who wrote the book, and he told me an interesting story. He said that originally he wrote it and it was from Taron's character's perspective, and he realized that didn't work and he shifted it. And I'm curious if when you guys were shooting and like how you were aware that this is coming from Anna's character, not like that this is your vision of what's going on. And Taron, did you have any sense of like, I'm the one who's kind of on the outside of what the camera
100%. 100%. The first thing we shot in the movie was Charlotte's house, I think.
We
did the diner first.
Diner, yeah.
Sorry. We did the diner.
How did you forget that?
All right. I'm still waking up. We did the diner first. We killed that, and then we moved on to Charlotte's house.
No, we did the airport scene.
Okay, we did the airport scene. There's no airport in the movie.
No, oh my gosh, not the airport.
All right, anyway,
the motel.
Oh, the
motel scene is so good.
Yeah, thank you.
Please tell me about that. That scene really captures what I'm talking about.
Well, what was the question? I can't even remember the question.
It was just the second one was the parking, like where we park and I wake up.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, forget about that.
You answer because I don't even know what's going on at this point.
What's the question again?
I was just you were talking about the perspective being. We were talking about the perspective being from her point of view. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing that most interested Nick about telling the story. I think our filmmaker, our director, Nick Rowland, and when we were at Charlotte's house, that was a 3-day scene, and it is a real, you really experience that house through Polly's eyes. So there wasn't a camera near me for the first 36 hours of being there, because I'm off having a very grown-up conversation way off in the background, and then I go and hide the car, and I think it's one of the things about the movie that is the most interesting, because you find yourself wondering how she will remember this experience and what of the kind of more grown-up stuff will she retain. And I love that about it. I think on paper the film is a genre action thriller, but I think in its execution I feel it's something more dare I say it, artistic, in terms of the way that the story's told and how much feeling is involved in the way it's told. I think this movie has uncommon soul, and I think Anna kind of pretty much single-handedly brings that.
Thank you.
Well, she does a great job, as does everybody. That's very eloquently put. And I have to wrap, but thank you both so much. And
Thank
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks, mate.
Thank you for
You
your
too.
time.